It never pays to speak to a news reporter without doing your homework first. The new CFO, Stan Dobbs of the San Diego Unified School District, got a reminder of that recently when he sat down with Voice of San Diego reporter Will Carless. Will joins me now to tell me what happened. Will, what did Stan Dobbs say that triggered corrections and consternation among teachers?
Well, two different questions, but I mean, he said a lot of stuff that was very frank and honest, and then he said a couple of things that were just plain wrong that we had to fact check him on. So one of them was he made a claim that teachers on average make $92,000 a year in the district. That was wrong. We fact-checked him on that. He claimed that there are no studies that show that higher class sizes are detrimental to student learning, and in fact that there are studies that prove the opposite. We actually labeled that one huckster propaganda in our fact check because it's just way off the mark, and he should have known that. But he also said a lot of very smart things, and a lot of, I think, very positive things about transparency, about the district's need to really grab a hold of its kind of structural deficit problem and sort of fessing up to the fact that this isn't just a problem that's going to go away with kind of one-time fixes, that it's an ongoing structural problem that needs to be addressed.
Out of curiosity, when he was speaking, when you put together the Q&A, you knew that some of what he was saying was wrong, and you guys do these fact checks. Why not just put the fact check right next to the Q&A?
In retrospect, I think that probably would have been a better way to do it. We've had a lot of soul searching about this. It's tricky. Our protocol for Q&As has always in the past been that we write up the Q&A, that we don't edit it, and then that we put it forwards. And actually, before this, we had a discussion. Like, we know this is almost certainly wrong, particularly this $92,000 figure. Should we run it? Should we not have? I think in retrospect, we should probably have held it at least until we had the fact check, and then people could look at those two things concurrently. But I think at the time it was like, well, he's the CFO, let's get it out there, and then let's fact check him, and people are going to read those concurrently anyway. It didn't really play out like that, and you learn as you go ahead. So
you run the Q&A and you get a response from the superintendent, Bill Koba, and he corrects it, but he's backing this guy still, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think he hired him? What's this guy's background?
Well, so the guy's background, he spent about 20 years, I think it is, in the military. He was in the Naval Air Force and has recently worked at 2 different school districts up in sort of Central California. Very, very smart, very erudite guy. He's got several degrees. I think he's got a doctorate. Just very, very smart, very well put together, very, kind of has a lot of really good ideas and has a background in problem solving and streamlining and kind of saving money. So I think they hired him because on paper and in person, he's very impressive. Unfortunately, he's really kind of put his foot in it, and by making these kind of simple mistakes, or fairly simple mistakes, and being so kind of forthright and vehement about these facts which were wrong, he's kind of tainted his reputation. So he's got a lot of kind of bringing back to do.
But not everything he said was incorrect. I mean, he talked about the something like 92% of the district's budget going toward teachers' salaries. That's pretty eye-opening, is it not?
That's right. I mean, I knew that because I'm an education reporter. I'm not sure if the public at large knew that. And Scott Lewis, who writes commentaries for us, wrote a great commentary about the 5 things that Bill Koba, the superintendent, didn't correct, that were correct. It's also important to note that Q&A wasn't the entire interview. I spoke to this guy for 2 hours, and I'd say 95% of what he said was right on the money, very smart, very positive moving forward.
And he also said some things that are impolitic, such as implying, actually just saying directly, that the school board is pretty much bought and paid for by the teachers' union. How did that come out?
That's right. I thought that was the most shocking thing actually in the whole interview, which is where I asked him, I said, how do you move forward with some of these ideas when you have a school board that are largely supported by the union? And he interrupted me and said, they're not largely supported, they're placed strategically by the labor unions. That's not something that people say. I mean, these are his bosses at the end of the day. It's not it's what everybody says, frankly, in private. Most people talk to reporters and say those things, but district staff, wow. I mean, people just don't say things like that. So that was pretty extraordinary.
And given that he has been that candid on such a touchy topic, Are his days numbered? I mean, do you see a guy like this staying here long?
I mean, he may leave out of frustration. He may leave out of, the fact that his ideas aren't getting traction. I don't think they're going to kick him out for making a couple of mistakes and talking to the voice of San Diego and screwing up on a couple of numbers. I think we'd have to be very paranoid to believe that he's going to be kicked out because of that. But whether he finds that he's kind of entered a world that's very, very difficult to get anything done. That district is so difficult to get anything done. It's so big, it's so unwieldy that it'll be interesting to see if he sticks around.
Well, Carless, thank you for joining us today. We've got to wrap it there.
Thank you.